Hi guys, Miss Hallett here. We're going to be talking about categorical data. Miss Hallett, that sounds like a big word. What it really means is putting data into categories, putting them together with things that are alike. Okay, so let me show you what I mean. So here we have some data. Keisha took a survey of her class and collected this set of data. So we have, if you notice, let's look at the data here. At the top, there is the question that the survey was asked to the students. What is your favorite game? Now here are all the names of the students, and then here is the favorite games that they chose. Okay, so the survey is already done. She asked her class, what is your favorite game? Okay, now all that data is just sitting there. We can't really do anything with it. We can't say anything about it until we put it into categories. Okay, so let's try putting them into categories. Now the first one here is has categories for us. So we are going to be putting data into categories to help us learn something about what happened in the survey. So Keisha wondered, where do students play their games? So she asked another question. So here we have sports fields and courts, playground games, games you can play inside. Now let's look at this data here. Jump rope. Sports fields and courts, playground games, or games you can play inside. I know my mom would be really mad if I started jump roping in the house. So I believe jump rope would go into playground games. All right. What about tag? Playground? Badminton? Probably not games that you can play inside. And you need a court to play it properly. So that would be sports fields and courts. Hopscotch, playground. Baseball, you need a field, right? Checkers, totally play inside. That's a safe, mom and dad don't care if you play checkers inside, right? Kickball, definitely. Now this is interesting. Do you play that on the playground? Yes. But do you need a court? Yes. So that needs a court. Mancala, ooh, that's a fun game, but you can play that inside. Capture the flag. Do we need a court? Yes, we do. Table tennis. Sports fields and courts, playground games, playgrounds, or games you can play inside. Table tennis, I think you can play that inside. Okay, soccer, need a field. Chess, inside. Hide and seek, oof, that's a tough one because you can play that out on the playground, or sometimes you can play it inside. I don't know. Let's go with playground, hide and seek. Go fish, totally inside. Crazy Eights, inside. Red Rover, playground. Red light, green light. I love red light, green light. That's probably a playground game. Yep. Foursquare, need a court. Softball, again, you need a court. Chinese checkers, inside. Okay, whew. We separated our data into categories now. All right, so now what could we say about our data? Let's see. There are a lot more games you can play inside than playground games. So the students, a lot of them picked games you could play inside. Okay, there's a lot of them that also picked field and court games. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 sports fields and court games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 playground games, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 inside games. So it looks like what we could say is that playground games had the least amount of votes. Games you play inside and sports field and court games tied, right? Both at 7. So we can say a lot about this data. We could say most of the students like to play games on fields and courts or play inside. We could say that. We could say not very many students chose playground games, okay? So let's see how we do without categories given to us, okay? You can sort the same set of data in different ways. Write your own categories for sorting Keisha's data. Now let's think about it. Before we drag and drop and we name our categories, I want you to think, what would you come up with? I have one you could use. Let's try games. Oops. Games with a ball. Games with a ball. Okay. Let's try games without a ball. Okay, so here we now have 2 categories, games with a ball and games without a ball. Okay, so then you can now sort all of these into these categories. All right, and I think what we'll find is there are way more games without a ball than with a ball. Okay, but the point is you can do whatever kind of category you want to, as long as it makes sense and the things inside the categories match and are the same. So what we're going to find out from this sort is that a lot more people like games without a ball than games with a ball. Okay? Does that make sense? I hope so. If you have any questions, please let me know. And now you will, oops, let me finish tag here. Okay, now what could we say about this data here? What could we say? We could say, there were only 3 people in the class that chose games with a ball. Okay, we could say the majority of the class chose games without a ball. All right? So I hope all of this helped you out and helped you figure out that categories are things, are columns that you're going to sort your data into that are alike. They are the same-ish. They're alike, okay? All right, guys, good luck, and watch the video on the next slide to help you do the next slide.